Welcome to On the Chain.
Look at this. So this is Allbridge. We've heard about this for some time, but we're excited to announce that we have successfully integrated XRP Ledger with technical support from Ripple X dev team. This integration, as you can tell by the fire emoji, will enable us to bring many unique DeFi assets to the XRPL. Now think about that, Jeff. DeFi coming to the XRPL, and we've heard about this for some time. Find out more about our latest launch. Just look at how badass that looks, Jeff.
Dude, that looks badass. I like that. I like the whole situation over there. It even comes with its own sound effects. That's really cool.
Something like that, right?
That's
it's just really fantastic. And we got one of those actually when we went to the meetup, the Ripple meetup. We got one of these cool shirts. It's a Ripple X type of a shirt. So just dive into this a little bit.
Trying to remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I must have lost it.
I have an extra one if you want it. If you need one.
Got a cool hat.
So you got the hat. I did not get a hat. I wanted a cool hat because I wear hats all the time. Never here, but and sometimes on Saturdays. But look at this. Cross-chain bridge, Allbridge brings DeFi to the XRP ledger. This is fantastic news.
Yeah, that's big.
And I love the fact that they've successfully integrated rather than they unsuccessfully integrated, because that would be a disaster.
Today, Allbridge unsuccessfully integrated support for the XRPL. How would that sound? What kind of article would that? After trying for 2 years.
Why do you need successfully? It's like just say Allbridge has integrated support. It's like successfully. We've done it successfully. I guess they're proud of that. I don't know.
That's right.
Hey,
Crypto G's flying his own plane and listening to us while he's flying. How cool is that?
That's a little cool, man. I like that. I feel like we're flying with you. I like to see a little bit of
listening to OEC on a plane. Not sure if he's flying the plane, but he's
on the plane.
He's on the plane. I ad-libbed.
Come on, Crypto G, take a little bit of a video, and I'd love to see that later. I mean, just post it on the Twitters. Yeah, we got some stuff to unpack about Twitter as well. So Allbridge first announced the integration in January, proud to deliver on its promise by adding XRPL as the 14th chain, because that's the whole idea. Get it to bridge Allbridge to all chains.
I get it now. I was trying to figure that out.
I see, Jeff. Amazing.
They bridge all. Hence the Allbridge.
Allbridge. It's processed more than 5.8 billion in transactions to date. That's the and the link to XRPL with the number of EVM and non-EVM compatible chains, including, check this out, Solana, Terra, Near Protocol, BNB Chain, Phantom, and more chains supported by Allbridge, leveraging the XRPL native decentralized exchange, will also allow for trading of stable coins and DeFi tokens directly on the. So it's so weird, Jeff. Do you find it odd? You find it odd that like the decentralized exchange has been there since pretty much day one, right? It's been there 10 years. And now it's like out of like the last year, everybody's excited about using the decentralized exchange. It's incredible.
All of a sudden it's becoming relevant. So you think about go back to the beginning of the XRPO with this notion of a DEX, and it wasn't really a thing. Now all of a sudden it's a thing. People are fired up about it, and people are saying, hey, you know what? We got to find a way to build and take advantage of the DEX that is native to the XRP ledger. Hence, you see what's going on with Allbridge. It's really cool.
That's right. And it's pretty cool to see that. It became the first bridge to connect the XRP ledger with the expansive DeFi ecosystem. The integration with XRPL allowed us to deeply enhance our cross-chain expertise, offer a truly unique solution to the market. Our end goal is to establish interconnected cross-chain environment. And throughout Q2, Allbridge plans to bring many unique assets to the XRP ledger, starting with Solo. That's pretty cool too. Token of the Sologenic ecosystem, Ripple provided Allbridge with tech support to integrate the XRP ledger through its blockchain expertise. Allbridge is a simple, modern, reliable way to transfer assets between different networks. It's kind of like they're doing for blockchain what the XRPL does for fiat and digital currencies, and their interoperability between multiple different blockchains, which is pretty cool. And their mission
really nice
is to make the blockchain world borderless. Where have you heard that before? Walled gardens, borderless, tool to move free assets. I don't know how you actually do it or what that looks like, but pretty cool, man.
Oh, it's great. When we're seeing this orchestration of development and builders in the space taking advantage of the ledger, it's not just about the ERC20s. We see a lot of that. Actually, we've seen that to ad nauseum. It's all about the ERC20s and building on Ethereum, when we know that the XRP ledger is just ripe for things like this.
Absolutely.
So it's awesome to see. Obviously we got Flare, that's going to be coming out soon, July 4th, if they stick to the plan. But yeah, a lot of great things going. So
here, let's just jump into this. Here's the John Deaton tweet. John Deaton said, because Celsius had to provide an update, and their update was based essentially this, that if you are staking and expecting yield from any token and you live in the United States, guess what? You're out of luck. You have to be an accredited investor. And this is a power play right here by the SEC, because the reason you'd have to be an accredited investor would be to buy securities. But guess what isn't a security? Digital assets. So this is their little play. It's like, oh no, you already can't get yield on coins because they're securities. So they're making people. And John Deaton says, this angers me so much, and I'm an accredited investor. I didn't become an accredited investor until I was 42 years old. One reason I didn't become an accredited investor earlier is because I chose to serve in the United States Marine Corps for 8 years. It's a rigged system designed to hold people down. And check this out. We have none other than Warren Davidson, who chimes in with definitely one of our most broken laws, highlights one of the many fallacies of investor protection. Lots of reform needed. What's he referring to there, Jeff?
It's crazy. So, one of the things that we're seeing, and we've seen, for a long time, is that if you're an accredited investor, you have, you're privy to a lot of interesting investment vehicles that have, big upside. There's definitely some downside potentially, but big upside, not retail upside, and so if you look at like the IPO space, pre-IPO only open to accredited investors, and there's a lot of big upside when it gets listed IPO. And so there's always, those that buy the bags, and then there's the ones they sell the bags to that end up becoming bag holders, and those are the IPO buyers. And so pre-IPO make their margin to the IPO buyer in retail, and then retail many times will ride up and they'll buy at the high, and then they start offloading, and then you have those that were pre-IPO start buying when the stocks come back down to earth. And so now you're starting to see the same type of chaos that's going to ensue, Chip, in this space. And now we see it with Celsius, and so as a prime example. And so just to clarify the Celsius, the way Alex Mashinsky phrased it, is that anybody who is currently in Celsius has holdings within their wallets on Celsius, and you're earning interest, that'll continue to earn interest regardless of your status as accredited or not. If you want to come new to the space, then you're screwed. You're basically getting nothing. And so I like how Warren Davidson, Chip, comes out. There's obviously a lot of broken laws. Obviously, we also know that Warren Davidson was one that was behind the Token Taxonomy Act, and that could have potentially resolved a lot of what we're seeing right now had that been passed. Hence, he's talking about the many fallacies of the investor protection, especially coming out of the SEC. Lots to reform. And Chip, you hit on something really important. Now we have to make an assumption based on this, and based on how Celsius is responding and how the SEC is getting crazy. You have to make the assumption that all digital assets are then securities, whereas the CFTC, believes something completely different. So in essence, there's still an unknown variable. There's still a battle here, Chip, between the CFTC jurisdiction and the SEC jurisdiction. And I think we have a lot of issues.
Oh, we definitely have a lot of issues, Jeff. I mean, and then he goes on to say that there are multiple bills ending or reforming the accredited investor rule. One passed in the House in 2018, but guess what? Never got a vote in the Senate. It actually went through the House. They passed it, and the Senate just sat on it. As for oversight, I'm confident things will change with the GOP majority overseeing the Biden administration. What he's talking about here is the massive red tsunami, which now is on its way and scheduled for November 8th of 2022, which is going to it's probably going to end up being, I think it's going to be a 100+ seat pickup, Jeff. 100 seats for 100 years. It's going to be incredible. And the best part about it is the other party destroyed themselves. It's always great when your enemy takes themselves out. You're like, okay, just sit back and watch, get a big bucket of popcorn and start popping popping more corn. I mean, that's just one of the greatest things ever. Look at this right here. So Tom Emmer hits it on the nail on the head. It's like the SEC's accredited investor regulations are absurd. Gatekeeping wealth creation is un-American. Americans are smart enough to make their own financial decisions, but Gary Gensler thinks he knows better. Is that spot on, Jeff? I mean, this Gary Gensler is really, really racking up a bunch of enemies real quick. Yeah, does anybody like this guy?
Gary's
a nut job, man. He's like,
I'll tell you what, there's so much to do with the pillars of enforcement. It's just, it's self-defeating, for the financial infrastructure of this country. Obviously we know that the economy is going backwards right now. We have skyrocketing inflation soon, eventually it's going to lead to massive recession. There's some definite issues here unless things are turned around right away. And this guy just making every time you think that things are looking up, hey, got the crypto space, things are great. All right, we got you can invest, you can stake, you can earn interest, you can earn a measly, 4 or 5%, 10% compared to the huge, massive interest that you get from the banks at like 0.05% or 0.5%. So finally, us, average Americans out here finally get an opportunity to start, gaining a little bit of wealth. And what do? They say, you know what? We think it's a security. It hasn't been proven to be a security. There's no evidence to show that it's a security, yet Daddy G, MIT man, thinks that everything's a security, and so obviously it's creating massive issue. Tom Emmer, hero today. SEC's accredited investor regulations are absurd, 100%. And why are they gatekeeping the wealth creation in America? Because it's strictly un-American. But Chip, I'll leave at this and get your feedback on it. They did the same thing during the real estate, boom. They did everything they could to handcuff people and squeeze them, into bankruptcy.
That's a really great point, Jeff. This is a pattern.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.